Greetings to you all, and welcome back to Let's Play Octopath Traveler. More bosses await. Let's crack on.
If thou art ready, then so am I.
Familiar face,
I am ready.
but I can't quite place it. Who are you? Oh, Darius, you're Therian's friend. Well, friend's a bit generous. Associate.
Pierce our foes. All right.
You stole all of my items. Every single last one. Actually, removing my ability to concoct is more annoying than I give it credit. What a swine.
What next?
Alright, Hannah, let's get started.
Scattering them all. Here I go. Letting my arrow
I vaguely remember this with the whole your items come back to you every time you break his defense.
Here we go.
Wait, why did I attack with Hannah instead of casting a rune? Well, that wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. Part of me wants to test weakness, but part of me wants to hit him in the face. That was satisfying.
I am ready. The peacock struck.
My turn now.
Wind seems to be the winning element against these bosses as of late.
Letting the hunt begin. Conjuring storms.
That being said, they like to change their defense. Watch as he's no longer weak to wind after this.
Fly and true. Here we go.
Wait. I had a great idea that I never acted upon. I should probably try and do it.
Try this. I am ready.
Now, my idea was, what if I strut Hannet? Or just transfer a rune up? Does that make it apply to everyone? It doesn't, right? It's only abilities that apply to yourself. Still gonna strut for her. Okay. For a second I thought it would bounce it to everyone, but
Here I go.
I now I realise that's a mistake.
Elemental break.
Elemental Break has suddenly become a much better ability when I'm under the effect of an elemental rune.
Coming, if
I can still do basically max damage, while simultaneously lowering the opponent's resistance. Should we attack with this time? We'll go bow.
raining arrows up on. Coming, if thou darest. Letting my
That
arrows
is
fly and true.
Spear and Dagger, I think, are the two weaknesses at the front, which means Dagger is the one that will actually work, if I'm not mistaken.
I am ready.
I'm gambling on it. Well, I only need to hit him once. I'm pretty sure that the first unknown weakness is Spear and the second one is Dagger. I'm getting a feel for this game. It's about time, given how long I've played it. But I'm finally getting a feel for this game. I wonder if I should do this to myself, but I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. I think I'd be better off just whacking him for full power. Like this. How are you going to beat 30,000 damage? I'm already hitting for max.
All right.
Oh, it's time.
Windhild, show no mercy.
This is my most enjoyable attack nowadays. It's so satisfying. I've not tried it, but I wonder if you can steal from these spirits.
Benefic stars bless us. Letting the hunt begin.
Any skills I actually want to do here? We could leg hold trap, but that's not going to do anything because he's about to wake up from being dazed. True strike is probably the best move I have then. I mean, the man's nearly dead. In fact, we probably kill him before he gets another turn looking at it. Don't really know what my most powerful single target skill is. I'd be tempted to do that because he's weak to dagger, but it's not going to work really, is it? Let's polearm him.
Let's do this.
It's hard to know what will deal more damage. A single boosted triple wind? Or a single windy pursuit? Okay, definitely this.
Letting the hunt begin.
Good fight, man. Good fight. No money. Now, I understand why it's not giving me money for these fights, because I can't leave and spend it. But I could use it for hired help, so I wouldn't mind if they gave me some money. Okay, okay. The Dragonstones, we know, open the gate. I would explain it, given by the King of Hornburg. I would explain the connection, because this is the ruins of Hornburg. Odin Crossford. Now, Graham Crossford has been writing diaries. Connect those dots. The origins of Heathcote. I expected to see Heathcote come up here. Although I see they're talking about Cordelia, which is the name of the girl that is current head of House Ravus and the one who ordered Therion, essentially. The sympathetic lady. Probably daughter to this Cordelia. No, wait. Cordelia is not the wife. Wife is called wife. Cordelia is Cordelia. Okay, so Cordelia's dad wrote this. And that explains why Heathcote is such a loyal servant to Cordelia. Got it. Hope the plums are going to hold out. Think they will. We venture onwards. What awaits? Okay, everything up to this point has been human. Now there's an angry dragon.
All right.
But fair enough. Dragon? I'm pretty sure it is. By the way, I've never used this ability before. Throw one of your old weapons. Sounds fun. What happens if I throw a really weak weapon like this? Have at ye.
Nightmare Chimera.
Let's never do that ever again.
I am ready. May the stars pierce our foes. Come in, if thou darest. Scattering them all.
Let's do this.
Optimal situation is that Hannick gets a patience turn.
Persevere.
And then she can buff everyone up ready before the next turn.
Here we go.
Nearly, nearly. What do we do here? Just test different weapon types, I guess. Good to know.
I am ready. The peacock strut.
Bring it on.
Alfin, there's nothing here I really want you to use. It's amazing that your apothecary skills basically are just concoct. Which means that if you weren't Alfin, you wouldn't get concoct, and so I would hate apothecary as a subclass. Do I actually want you to do any of this? Not really. I think other people can test that better than you. You want to test Dagger?
Letting the hunt begin.
Holy Rune it is.
Here I go. Elemental break.
Surprisingly weak for a dragon.
Thou darest. Holding back nothing.
You know what, sure.
Mighty maid.
It's good for working out its weaknesses.
I am ready.
Okay, so it's another weapon type.
Watch me now. Benefic stars bless us.
Here I go.
It's fine, this creature's never getting to attack again in his life.
Persevere.
Here we go. Alrighty. Windhild, show no mercy. Here we go.
So what should Alfin do when he has a turn off like this? Probably heal the team, is the correct answer to that question. But Alfin's not about that life. He's all about the damage.
I am ready. The peacock strut.
I have so many buffs on my team members, it's hard to keep track
My turn now.
of exactly who's buffed with what. In fact, I'm not convinced the Peacock Strut even works anymore. I think I might be under the effect of permanent Peacock Strut, and I'm just wasting my time.
Won't hold back. Let's persevere.
I am ready.
Okay, I want to know the answer to this. Tressa is currently under the effect of... I'm going to have to name these symbols. Magic up. Magic defense up. Spirit up. Regeneration. And that is Holy Rune, the last one. So I got two magical offensive looking things. I have Magic up and Spirit up, I'm going to call them.
The peacock strut.
And now, I still have 5 buffs
The
on me.
hunt beginneth.
The 2 buffs that have timers are definitely Regenerate and Holy Rune. Light Rune, I think it's called. So Peacock Strut doesn't work anymore, because Tressa's passive ability I've equipped her with means she always has Peacock Strut on, essentially. She always has magic up, elemental up. Okay. Well, that's important to know, and it makes Prim even more useless. I think literally every single one of her dancing abilities now is garbage. So that's good. Well, that's some progress.
Here we go.
How's the team? The team's pretty okay. The regeneration's taking care of our damage, to be honest with you.
All right.
Come in, if thou darest. Rain and arrows up on him.
So I actually want to think about this for a second.
Bring it on.
Whenever it's Prim's turn, and I can actually read. I mean, you may as well do this.
Guardian Lion Dog.
I am ready.
Dancer skills. Lion Dance. Doesn't work on Elfin for the same reason that Peacock Strut doesn't work on Tressa. Moonlight Waltz. Worse than Shooting Star. Peacock Strut. Doesn't work. Mole Dance. Ally's physical defense. Doesn't work on Elfin. Works on the other 3. Unlikely I'm ever going to use it. Night Ode. Probably worse than Shooting Star in almost every scenario. Panther Dance. Maybe. Edge Case. Joke Skill. Yeah, nice one. That is... makes single target spells affect all enemies. Not really useful in one-on-one boss fights. Her dancing skills are useless. Shooting Star, good skill. BP Boost, good skill. Divination, good skill. Star Song, good skill. Star Song means there's no reason to ever use Mole Dance. Situationally okay, that's quite good general purpose. Situationally maybe, I don't think it's very good though. And Stay Auras, I mean maybe, situationally is okay. So all of the Starseer skills are at least usable. I wouldn't say they're great, I'd say it's probably the weakest of the 4 super jobs. I think definitely the weakest of the 4 super jobs. But they're all okay. But these dancing skills are all completely useless. Big thumbs up. I've planned this team to perfection. What is my conclusion from all of that? Stab the dragon.
What to do?
Tressa, break this thing.
Elemental break.
Bring it on.
What about your apothecary skills? First aid has some occasional usage. Icicle has no usage. Realistically, I would concoct for double ice rather than single ice. Status removal is still kind of good. Amputation is probably just worse than Tiger Rage. Maybe not though, because it is single target, whereas Tiger Rage is AoE and it's cheaper, so it actually has some use. I don't think we're going to be able to poison any of these bosses. Revive is still good. Last Stand is maybe good. Dota's is maybe good. Okay, so Alfin's not completely useless. Here's apothecary skills. I take it back, amputation is decent. And it's cheap.
My turn
Amputation's
now.
not a bad move.
Let's persevere.
I am ready. Stay strong.
And it needs to rebuff us. The light rune's fallen off.
Here I go.
How much money can I get out of a spirit dragon? By the way, any of these abilities any good? Collect is not. These wind spells are useless. Rest is... I mean, maybe. Donate BP is... okay, that's actually not that bad. Sidestep might be useful. Hired help is still useful. Physical defense or what have you. The Falcons are still fairly decent damage. It's not the best, but it's not completely useless. You need more money, Dragon. Aren't you supposed to hoard this kind of stuff?
Come in, if thou darest. Conjuring light.
Oh, my transfer rune's worn off. I didn't even realise. Okay, that was my mistake. Only Hannet's buffed here, but Hannet uses it the best. Hannet and Tressa use it the best, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, in a situation like that, I should be using Amputate rather than regular attack. Oh, that's a lesson. Dragon's very, very close to dead, by the way.
Bring it on.
I mean, fair enough, but I don't think you're living to see another turn, mate.
Show no mercy.
I'm genuinely surprised you're still alive. But don't worry, I can fix that.
Let's persevere. You got more than you bargained for.
Hannet still gets experience even though she's taken away by the winds. Tell you what, do you want to just heal everyone, Elf? And then we'll just plum, rather than using up the grapes. Because in a real fight, in a close fight, I'm not going to be using my inspiriting plums. I'm going to be using my plum M's and my plum baskets. So those are just free to use, as and when. Oh, Graham, you're back. Where was part 1? Did I just miss that? Maybe that was in the main plot. Maybe it was at the end of Tressa's story? Don't know. Anyway, let's focus on this. Why is this random NPC, LeBlanc, the final ultimate villain? I barely even interacted with the woman. Whatever. Okay, so Graham was sacrificed for the ritual to open the gate. And we know what lay within the gate. From, I think from Cyrus's main quest. It is the fallen god. The one which is not one of the 8 gods that mimic the 8 starting classes. I can't remember who they all are, but Aelfric is the holy god. Well, I guess it's the name of the ultimate abilities, right? So Befelgen is the god of traders. Etc, etc. It's not those 8. It's the fallen god that was sealed behind this gate. Okay, and this is making more sense as to why Kit's so involved. So Odin Crossford originally sealed the gate with the Dragonstones. And then Graham Crossford was used by LeBlanc to open the gate originally. And now Kit Crossford is the person that LeBlanc was searching for this whole time. Having the correct blood. Okay. So as Graham was becoming the vessel, presumably for the fallen god, he was gaining strength. He used it to lash out. Good man, good man. All I need to do is lowercase c, capital H, ace after her. What's happened to your speech, man? You need to work on this. Okay. So, Graham, in his last moments of cognizance, struck out against a block and just interrupted the ritual to open the gate and let the fallen god back into the world. But it seems he was also taken over by the evil god. He was its vessel after all. So I guess once I've done all 8 of these, we're going to fight Graham. Sort of corrupted Graham. Possessed Graham on that altar. That's my guess. It's all getting very ominous. Let's do battle with this unholy presence.
Time for the main event.
Oh goddamn, it's you. The candle bearer.
Let's do this.
You're an evil man, weren't you? So I'll try with holy.
Persevere.
Never fails.
I am ready. Magnificent stars pierce our foes.
Now we know which of our abilities are useless, we can do this faster.
Letting my arrow fly in true.
We have a general plan.
Them all.
Bring it on. Ha!
I underestimated amputation, it's a good skill.
My turn now. Let's persevere. My turn now.
I'll keep using...
Let's persevere.
Yeah, I'm never pronouncing that. Lux. I'll keep using Lux until we have the Holy Rune on Tressa. Then I will do an Elemental Break. But I don't want to Elemental Break too early,
Conjuring light.
because this is going to be a very sad turn if I Elemental Break and do about 800 damage. Right, Prim, what do you want to do? You want to get us regenning? Let's do it.
Stars bless us.
Here goes
What you,
nothing.
Alphin? You want to keep stabbing? Or amputating? I hope this isn't how you treat your patients. A giant double-handed swing.
I am ready.
I'd like to think it has a bit more precision about it. We should BP boost whoever's most relevant. Probably Alfin, so that he can get more 6 weapon strikes going. It's fun. It's that or we get the crit rate up on Tressa.
Shooting comets, lead us on our way.
Both are good, both are good.
Letting the hunt begin.
That's a very weak spell.
Letting my arrow fly in
We should
true.
work on this.
Holding back.
I am ready.
Why was my pursuit so... I understand. I understand. The power of the rune. Okay. The rune is elemental damage. The power of the rune is governed by the weapon that you use. So there are certain weapons that have low physical attack but high elemental attack, like most wands, for example, or the rune glaive is a good example. So if I attack with the rune glaive, I think I will do a lot of light rune damage. But if I attack with the dagger, I think I would do low light rune damage. And that might explain why my damage is so variable with Prim, between about 2,000 and 7,000. If that's the case, that would explain why Tressa does 10k when she does Elemental Break. Because she's hitting with her staff. She naturally has an enormous elemental attack. And Hanit does good damage with her bow. Because her bow is an incredible bow with something like 300 fizz and 300 elemental. It's a very well-rounded bow. And that means Alphen should probably attack with his staff. If I've got that right. But I don't know if I've got that right. How do I test this? Well, let's break him so that we're testing on a level playing field. And we'll use Alphen as our tester.
All right.
Sorry if I'm using the end bosses of the game in order to test theory. But let's use, well, you start with a staff. No, we'll start with what we know. We'll start with a sword, which has 0 elemental attack on it. And we'll see how strong this light rune is. Very weak, 1300. Okay. Next time Alphen's going to attack with his staff, and we'll see what happens. Sorry, but I'm predicting the final boss of this area to be really difficult, and so I want to understand the mechanics before I get there. This guy's half dead already. Okay, so 1300 to beat. I understand. Okay, the rune is
Letting my arrow
unbelievably amazing. It's even better than I thought. Because even my characters with no elemental stats, I can make them do good damage. Interesting that Alphen's 6-weapon strike doesn't do good damage with the light rune, considering he does attack with the staff at one point. But I guess it draws from the sword, because it hits first. The pondering. So Hanit's going to be weak when she uses her sword or her axe, but should be strong whenever she attacks with the bow, right? Yes. Okay, we got it.
My turn now.
Mystery solved. Good news, everyone.
Elemental break.
And Tressa would be... I mean, Tressa's always strong, because she's natively got about 500 elemental attack. Prim sucks with dagger, but strong with spear, yes? Okay.
All right. All righty.
I feel so smart.
Show no mercy.
This attack is just so good in its own right that we don't need to worry about using the optimal rune
That's
weapon.
what I'm talking about.
By the way, that guy was a complete joke. Although it's probably because I understand the mechanics. Oh yes, Matthias, of course. So I remember who he is, I think. Although I kind of get confused between some of these people, but he's the savior, right? So this is Ophelia's end boss. And he was a servant of the fallen god. Which I believe is Galdera, his name? Or its name, it's a god, I don't know what gender it is. But yes, he's a servant, he's a follower of the fallen god. Yes, that's right, and he was trying to use... I've forgotten her name. Ophelia's sister. Is it Liana? I think it is. He was trying to use her as a vessel, wasn't he? To revive the dark god. Yes, yes. Okay, so this explains his fall into serving the dark god. Again, LeBlanc's doing. I see. He witnessed a disaster, and it made him lose faith. He turned his back on the flame, on the righteous power of Aelfric, as he was disillusioned, watching innocents die in a natural disaster. Makes sense. So he wasn't... I mean, he was evil in his actions he undertook, but he wasn't an evil man in his thinking. He just couldn't accept the natural evils of the world. Now, why that would draw you to the conclusion that the Dark God is the thing you want to revive. Yes, Galdera, I got the name right. Never mind, he is evil. Okay, I'm sympathetic with him up to the point where he's disillusioned because he's seeing innocent people die and God is not saving them. Why does God let bad things happen to good people, etc., etc. But if your conclusion from that is, maybe I should open the gate of Finis and let some evil power into the world so I personally can become stronger, then you've lost. You've lost the argument there somewhat. Allied with Simeon. I mean, that makes sense. They were very similar people. I do love the way all the stories are intertwined, and it slowly reveals the little nuggets, the things you saw throughout the game. Okay, well that's a bit of a turn. We didn't know this, right? Archbishop Joseph was sick, and that's why Ophelia went on the kindling in the first place. But Joseph believed it was old age, natural causes. Did we ever know that he was poisoned? I don't think we did. I don't think even Matthias told us that, did he? So this dialogue entry is his regrets. After he died, he went here, to this in-between realm. And these are his thoughts of his regrets after I killed him in the main story. I see. I like this. This is a really poignant conclusion to the story. The after effects, the afterthoughts, the wrapping up, the summary. I'm impressed. Give me another video and I shall continue to be more impressed. 3 more mini-bosses. For next time. Hopefully you'll join me for that. And I shall. See you then.